with big releases on In Rotation, Insomniac, Night Service Only, Space Yacht, Dirty Bird, Country Club, Sans Mercy, Medium Rare, and Holy Moly.
Yeah.
Shout out Truth and Lies for coming on the show. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
We want to do this for a while.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, well, this is only episode 5, I think. So we episode 5. It's been long overdue, and I guess the way we just kind of kick it and talk a bit, and I'll go through a couple questions and stuff. But right off the bat, why don't we start off with how you guys met, how you came up with the name, all that stuff.
Well, we met through an old DJ partner I had back in like 2013,
something like that.
And we played. We just do a bunch of shows together, and then he worked with Ian at this place called Rock and Soul in Midtown. And I don't know, Cody, I don't know if you've ever been to Rock and Soul, but
yeah, I was in a DJ battle there before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every Friday they would do DJ battles.
Yeah, and so we ended up throwing events together, and that third partner was not such a good human being, so we decided to split off working with him, and then we started working on stuff.
As for the name, it was hard. It was like hard for us to come up with something, but then once we got a theme, we wanted something that would be like, one, marketable, and two, something that had some duality to it, because there's two of us, so Truth and Lies.
Yeah, there's not much thought went into it, really.
Yeah, it's not much meaning besides that.
Who's the truther and who's the liar?
Look, man, if I told you, I'd have to kill you, so...
Well, it would be really hard for you to kill me through the computer, so...
Yeah.
Tell me.
I did say a lot of people ask if this is the same Truth that's a dubstep DJ that isn't a duo, and the answer is no, so...
Yeah, Dishwoman dropped the name Tres Leches. That was our old trio name when we were making like Moombatan and trap music. Making like a lot of Latin trap, and we were all like three white dudes. And I don't know if you guys have ever had Tres Leches cake.
That's three milks.
Yeah, it's like 3 milk cake. So
nice.
Some good laughs from that back in the day.
Bert Cush, thanks for the subscribe, brother.
Bert Cushington. I think someone else subbed earlier too. I think it was.
We already got questions coming. One question: when is Ian gonna shave? Coming from Rydberg.
Well, I need to trim the sides, but I'm gonna let it go on the bottom, just see what happens. But bro, look at my fucking hair. You think I give a shit about shaving? Look at this shit. Bro, look at how long my fucking hair is.
You let your beard, you let your beard grow too long, then you look like you just stormed the Capitol.
I'm House Jesus.
Boy,
he just roasted me on live stream.
So man, that was the best roast.
At least I could get.
I'm joking. But I just feel that just in beards in general, to me, like a lot of it's all I think, because that's just kind of all you see on the news. But that wasn't a roast. That was a joke. I guess that was. If it was
fair roast.
I enjoy getting roasted.
If it was a really long one, then that's what
he just needs to wear a Confederate flag hat, and then he fits the bill.
At least in our channel, we have a roast Ian command, but I guess it's not here.
Shit. So we did the name. You guys have been making music so then since 2013, basically.
Well, we started Tres Leches probably like 2014, right? Because we did some parties and stuff first.
Well, we did that for like 3 years. And then we stopped doing that. And then around end of 2015, we started working on like writing house music, and we wrote a bunch of like deep house.
We wrote trap for a year under Truth and Lies.
But nothing ever really came out. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. Well, we did that Iggy Azalea remix.
Nothing really ever came out.
Man, what happened to her?
She was problematic, right? Didn't she like?
I think she was problematic. That's a good way to just leave it. Yeah, problematic.
Didn't she yell at the dude from Gladiator at a party or something, and then Dances with White Girls like got into a fight with her?
No, that wasn't her. That was her. That was who was he?
Who doesn't Dances with White Girls get in a fight with?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's already internet beef from yesterday dealing with.
Yeah, we've seen that. But so and before we go down any sort of road, we try to keep it as positive as possible, because we have enough wacky negative shit going on. But I want to talk about. So right now, you guys are in the Bronx, uptown somewhere, right?
Uptown Manhattan.
Uptown
Washington
Manhattan,
Heights.
Washington
Yeah.
Heights. Word up. So, you guys live together? Is that like Arnold and Lane?
No,
Oh, I didn't know they lived together. No, we live like 3 blocks away from each other. My wife and I live
Oh,
together, and
that's perfect. So
Yeah.
actually, funny enough, Ian moved into this place in February, like 2 weeks before we went into lockdown. So
got a 2-bedroom, so we have like a studio. So this is the studio room.
nice.
Got some space.
Man, yeah, that's perfect. So let's talk about a little bit how we met. So I met you guys through my dude Rydberg, who, has been my right hand homie for a really long time. Started as being a photographer, and then I just started calling him my idea guy, and we would just spitball, and he helped me out a lot with like starting out Holy Moly, and he was always pushing your guys' music to me and was like, yo, check this out. And it wasn't until I heard One More that I was just like, there's a whole batch of tunes in there and that were tight, but that one was super different to me. And I feel like that like the way you guys do your bass and like the kind of the bounce and funk to it, that was the first tune to me where I was like, oh shit, which I would consider your guys's. You guys have a really cool sound, especially the way that you play and do the bass. And that was the first time I heard it, and I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool. And did this get muted? Oops. And so let's talk a little bit about that. So your musical journey, you guys went from, you're saying you're making trap, Latin trap, and then moved into what was after that?
it was more like future deep house kind of stuff, like popular kind of house music, like what you hear on Selected's channel or something like that. It was all like we were just trying to figure out what direction we wanted to go in, and that direction worked for us initially.
It was a lot more with like songwriting with lyrics and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty firmly deep house in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like pretty poppy stuff.
Yeah.
We did some that had more teeth to it that would sort of guide us to our later stuff in tech house, but for the most part, it was definitely like streaming music. Making streaming music kind of got old, which is why we ditched that. And also,
We wanted to play shows. We like people.
Playing shows is good, and making music for Spotify is like
True. So what does that exactly mean? So making music for Spotify, more for stuff that people are gonna like listen to that's not club music, I guess.
Part of it was like that we were writing a lot of music at the time, and very few things would come out because we'd have to get a vocalist, and we have to get a label that would want to work with us that would do vocal stuff, and then it became like each track took 6 months to make and put out, and those same tracks would never get played out by DJs because there are more things like you hear in H&M, and then when you hear like at a festival. And so in some ways we got a lot of streams from that, but in other ways we wanted to play shows, and it was really hard to play shows when people don't book you for writing like radio type music unless you're like Calvin Harris or somebody that's big. So
another thing is we were playing a lot of local shows at that time too, and I think that kind of pigeonholed us into like the local opening act DJ type of thing, because we were playing like all the parties that we can get, which I think in the long run is probably not a good move.
Yeah. We were getting booked for being DJs rather than our music, and when we were playing shows out, we were already playing tech house mostly. So
I mean, I think that's all part of the process, especially when you're in a big city. And
especially in a big city,
to link out and get your name out and meet people, and that's all part of the game too, is opening up for people or closing for people and kind of building your network and all that and testing out tunes. But so then you guys we ended up putting that record out on the first Holy Moly comp, still, I love that tune so much. I was trying to get one more headphones to pick it up as like some sponsorship shit, but they
That would
wouldn't.
have been
It's
perfect.
been really great.
That's one of the first Tech House tracks that we ever.
I would say
wrote.
that between that and the one that we put out on OKNF Collective, those were the two first ones we wrote.
Yeah,
Oh.
I really dig that one. And then I guess shit, almost a year later, fast forward to the pic that I posted on Instagram is we were backstage at Avant Gardner for my show with Wax, and I think
Yeah, that
Born
was a
Dirty
crazy
was playing.
show.
That was the last New York show I ever had. And that was like, you know, we had just barely started working on Stand Clear, and that was like we basically just had one session in the studio,
Yeah, downtown.
jammed it out, and I remember finding the sample and being like, I wonder if this is royalty free. And it just just so happens to be royalty. If you guys don't know what royalty free is, it means or not royalty free,
public domain,
which is basically royalty free. So it was a sound that it doesn't have a copyright and is free to use. So we already made the sound before we figured that out. And then once I was like, man, this is so good, like we're totally just gonna have to change the sample, or no one's gonna sign it because, you know, that's probably owned by New York City or some shit. And what do you know? It's public domain. It worked out perfect. And then I think we took about 8 more months to actually finish it, but we had a pandemic happen, and maybe not 8 more, maybe, but
we finished it like July or June, somewhere around then.
yeah, and that was probably so it wasn't that bad.
Like 5 months. That was a long time.
And then did really well on the Dirty Bird release, so it's still a hit. I get tagged in that, people playing that tune all the time. I think can easily say that's kind of the subway anthem right now, but the hype train anthem.
When we made that track was so a little bit out of the box for us, and it ended up sounding so awesome.
Yeah,
I just like how simple it is.
It's so simple.
Like it just bass and some drums and a good sample. It's really all you need for Tech House.
And the Cody codes samples that he always has. Those everything.
Weird ass little synth loops and stuff that you put.
We also got to see Claude Von Stroke's brother spazzing out for the first time dancing to it, but that was pretty sick. But so all right, so
funny.
So you guys since then, you guys have had releases on Insomniac. You guys seem to do a whole bunch with Insomniac in rotation, Sans Mercy, and what is in the pipeline for 2021?
I think we have a couple releases scheduled. They're not going to be till later in the year. We've had a hard time getting music done right now because of trying to stream a lot. But we have a track coming out in May on Techni, and we have EP coming out later in this year. I don't know if we can say who it is with yet. But
yeah, we should.
With a three-track EP coming out later this year.
Tight.
And that's all music we have coming out as of right now. That's 100% signed. But we're also doing. We're just going to try to stream a bunch on our channel, or you can see us. We're doing a set this Saturday on Desert Hearts channel. So if you want to watch us there after our stream, yeah, Desert Hearts.
They're doing a Space Yacht takeover.
They're doing a Space Yacht takeover.
Nice. So, Space Yacht's doing all the takeovers as usual.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, so you guys did one of the first couple releases on Space Yacht's label, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how you like working with the Space Yacht guys? Those guys are fucking awesome.
They're the best, man. They just have such a good outlook on life, and they're
so funny, man.
And they're so much fun.
I like that they've kind of done something different with Space Yacht. It's not like quite one thing. It's not quite a record label. It's not quite an event company.
It's just a brand.
It's like
really cool.
It's their own unique amalgamation of different media branding. Yeah,
and they put out some awesome music. The Tech My House compilation they just put out is so cool.
Yeah, those are really, really good dudes. They've been talking about doing the label thing for a minute, and I'm very stoked that it's coming to fruition.
Yeah.
What's up, little sassy?
DJ Damage says lesson learned in 2020: stand clear of the ding dong.
That's funny.
Oh,
Shout out
man.
DJ Damage.
DJ Damage.
So you guys, like, we always talk a little bit about production. So what do you guys are mainly in Ableton, right?
All day.
Ableton all day.
Do you have any philosophy or nuggets or gems that you can drop for you know, on maybe like philosophy on how you go about making tunes or how you envision your music or like some tips for some up and coming producers on, how to do their thing and actually
I'll give
finish?
a couple brief little tips, and then I'm sure Ryan has his own too. I would say if you're interested in making full tracks and you want to like have it be all original and not rely on splice, come up with a theme for a track, write some vocals, like write a basic idea, like a nice drum loop and a bass line and like, some one shots and some synth and shit like that. Fill the track out, put the vocals on it. And then, in 1 or 2 sessions, you've written almost an entire track. And then, from then you could either recycle the vocals for something else or recycle the sounds into something else.
Yeah.
But if you're early in the process, I think the best thing to do is just write just a shit ton of music. That's the best thing you can do.
Just keep it simple. Don't think too much about it. Just write what you feel is good. And then when you get to the point where you think the track's done, listen to it, solo some things, remove some things, see if your track still sounds good.
Sit on it for 2 weeks, because like you've often heard it 60 times already at that point,
I can't tell you how many times we go back to listen to tracks that we've had done for 6 months and we just cannibalize them and make them into something else, and or just take 2 things off and they sound like a whole like a totally different track that sounds so much better.
That and keeping it simple, like Ryan said, is super important. If you're finding that you're spending 7 sessions on one track and you're stuck, scrap it, move on, just start a new one.
That's been me for the whole past 6 months, probably 7 months, 8 months, 10 months. I don't know.
It's tough to stay focused, man. So
some
of the craziest times in the history of our country right now. So
some of our best tunes are the things we wrote in like 1 or 2 sessions.
I'd venture to say all of the best things that we've written are the ones that come organically.
Yeah, I would say when we made the drip, the vocals Ian recorded the night we wrote the drip. We wrote the entire track in 3 hours. Everything.
Man, too bad it doesn't always happen like that. It doesn't
always happen like that.
That's the goal, though, is like getting that efficient and that focused on exactly what you want to do. I feel like that never happens. I mean, that happens with me, but it's never consistent where it's like boom, 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 boom. But I have gotten in a flow where like I've done a whole bunch of them like that, but it's never lasted for that long. And it's like that's my new goal, is to get in this flow of like, spitting out something dope every day. And I almost feel like that there's like some PTSD from like this COVID, losing shows, all this crazy shit going on, where I'm like healing my brain to like start working again properly. And like just last night I was up all night long working on a tune, and I'm super stoked on it. It was like basically almost finished the whole thing, and I'm like, man, is this the breakthrough where I'm back into writing music again? And I'm confident that it is, but I'm still jaded and a little shook about, just because things have been crazy. And then how.
I mean, it's not like you haven't been working though, bro. You've been grinding harder than almost anybody else as far as Twitch is concerned.
Yeah,
well, I've definitely been putting a wild amount of hours into Twitch. Now that's where I'm kind of fighting with a balance with that, because so much goes into it. I have so much content that I'm supposed to be putting up on YouTube that I'm backed up on, just making thumbnails and shit like that. Like,
eventually, I mean, that's how we are too. We're trying to stream and as well, and it's just a challenge because you have to make your graphics, you have to make your art. I mean, we don't have anyone really helping us with our stream. It's just us doing it, and it's a lot of work, man. Like if we had somebody that would do all of our graphics and do all of the scene building and promote it and all this stuff, it would be a challenge. It's a challenge right now. It would be so much easier for us.
Well, I think that's the point, is like really being able to do everything yourself, and then once it really gets rolling, then you start bringing people on to do it either better or more efficiently, or just so you don't got to fuck with it and you can just work on. So it's like we're building our little empires at the time.
Yeah, little empire.
Twitch empires. But
I do have to say the other thing too, we're talking about the music stuff that you just said. I mean, we have times where we go back and have months where we don't have something that comes out that's usable. I mean, it just happens. You just have to go with the flow. I mean, when we made our Insomniac remix, we put on Insomniac in December. That was like the 8th different version of that remix we made. They asked us to do it in like, I don't know, July. So well, fortunately we had some time, but it took 4 or 5 different full versions and then another 3 mini versions, and then it came out with what it is.
Never takes us that long to write songs.
Yeah, but it happens to all of us.
Man, I that's why I don't even do remixes anymore. I just won't. I've done too many of them, and now I either knock them right out or I get stuck on it, and I'm just focused on writing tunes, and I'm done. I'm more retired from doing remixes for a while. Maybe
I think the important thing is that you pick remixes that are within your specific wheelhouse, and it's hard to know.
You feel attached to it.
Yeah, it's hard to know while just listening to the stems. I mean, you could hear a song and be like, "Wow, this is dope. I want to remix it," and then you pop it open, and you're like, "Well, I don't actually know what to do with it."
Yeah,
but
totally. So another question that I've been asking everyone: what's the weirdest thing you guys have in your studio?
Well,
the 2 horse heads.
We have 2 horse heads. So if anyone watches a stream, whenever we play something of ours that's unreleased, we wear horse heads.
Like some Godfather shit. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, like this. This is like, it's kind of weird.
Isn't that from that show? What show is that?
I don't know. He's gonna put it out.
It reminds me of that. What's that cartoon?
Oh my gosh.
Hugh
I feel like I should. I know this.
BoJack Horseman.
Yes, I love that show.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. We also have this random phone on our wall over here. It's this red phone. You can't see it in the picture, but it's just not hooked up to anything. It's an old school phone that's just hanging on the wall. We use it as a joke sometimes on streams.
I'm trying to find out what else would be weird in here.
Yeah,
I mean that head's pretty weird.
Yeah, I'd say this is pretty weird.
So you guys were supposed to be on, before I even started the show, we're supposed to be on my Dirty Bird show 2 times. So these guys, and this is just another example that COVID is real. Why don't you guys, how was that? So the first time there's someone, I don't even remember what happened, but
I got COVID.
You got COVID first. And how are you doing?
I'm completely good now, but it messed me up for a couple weeks, but I'm completely.
There's no long term or no
not as far as I could tell. I had shortness of breath for a couple weeks after I would tested negative, and I had lost a sense of smell. But after that, since then I've been completely good.
Good. And then we were gonna do it because you guys are a duo. So if one of you are exposed, then that's really stupid to record a set.
Yeah, we couldn't meet for 3 weeks, and then his roommate got it.
My roommate got COVID.
But you never got it though.
No, I never got it. I never got it. I get tested every week, multiple times for my day job currently. I've never had it, which is kind of amazing.
Crazy. And so obviously that's why that's kind of been the new, I guess this is like the road call for Wednesdays when you guys are gonna do a special guest set for Dirty Bird.
Oh, yeah.
Long time coming. Maybe you don't need the vaccine then. I don't even know about that. I feel like they say you're supposed to, right?
I'm gonna get tested for antibodies because I know they do go away at some point. And I'm assuming, if I get tested and I don't have antibodies, then I can get the vaccine, then I would definitely go get it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get the vaccine sometime in the next 2 weeks.
My wife got it yesterday. She's completely fine. 2 days ago, she's totally chilling, just happier because she has it.
Yeah, my grandma got it on Sunday. She can't leave her place, so she's just so excited to get it, just so she can get back to a little bit of normalcy. But it was just like Crazy. What fucking crazy times, man. I'm just like,
I mean, I was talking to my mom about this the other day, but the only person other than the people I go to work with, and I work in an office where nobody's even remotely close to each other. The only person I come in direct contact with regularly, other than my roommates, is Ian and Kristen. That's it. I haven't seen anybody else in months.
And we literally walk over to, like, he walks here to work in the studio, so it's not like he even takes the train.
I don't take the train. It's a 3-minute walk.
man, it's perfect.
It's crazy. It's very, very weird. I mean, I'm not a very outgoing person in general as far as like wanting to go hang out at a crowded bar, but I do like to go have dinner somewhere, you know.
That's
there's
what
like
I
the
miss.
things like you miss, like the little social things, like going to have a nice dinner, going to watch like a concert somewhere,
or even like 15 friends, just like
just going over and have a backyard hang, you know.
You know,
I know people are having that right now, but it's just not something I would feel comfortable doing, because I would feel bad if I gave somebody COVID. Like, say I had COVID and I was asymptomatic, I would just feel bad.
It's just not worth it, especially because we have Twitch, we have Discord, we have all these other things that are not as good, but passable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's better than going out.
Well, we both got tagged in a recent thing last night, or maybe it was this morning. I seen it and I was just like, oh man, like there's all these people, and it must have been Florida, but it was
Florida.
No masks, mad people playing our tune.
I feel weird reposting shit like that, but you know what, man? It's been a year already. It's like people know what it is. If you know you need to wear a mask, you know, it's like, are we just never gonna, go back to normal until people know how
to be honest, I'm looking forward to wearing a mask and not being able to fucking smell anyone, or no one be able to like come up and spit on my face when they're talking to me. Like, I'm all for the mask. Obviously it sucks when it's really hot and stuff, but obviously I want to get back to normal, but I'm all for keeping your fucking germs away from my face and my hands and everything else.
Have been normalized for years in many other nations.
Yeah.
Now it's just us that has an aversion to it.
And I mean, I have to say, like, I don't ever want to take the train or a plane ever again without a mask. I mean, it's peace of mind, but it's also just like, when I fly, I usually get sick when I fly.
Me too.
I've had to take a plane a couple of times during the pandemic, and I didn't get sick. So I'm gonna test that too, wearing a mask. So I think I'm gonna continue doing that in most settings, like as far as public transit or traveling goes.
Yeah, a lot of it comes to, there's a lot of insecurities about freedoms and rights to things and stuff like that, when it's like, man, sometimes you just got to use some common sense. But anyways, this isn't what we're not going to go into a mask off.
All about caring about other people. That's why I think about it. It's more of it's not just protecting myself, but it's also caring about other people. I don't want to get anyone else sick. I'd feel bad if I went over and got someone sick and their grandma died.
Yes.
It's all about thinking about it. Like, for me, it's like thinking about it as I'm doing good for the community.
It's a community effort.
Yeah.
Well, compassion and empathy and all that kind of stuff gets kind of pushed away when you're so selfish about, somebody taking away my freedom. But anyway, so long story short,
hey,
you guys, we made it this time. All the fuck the COVID bullshit, all that stuff.
Finally,
we're happy to be here, man. Thank you so much for having us.
Does the chat crew have any questions?
Well, boss, I don't want to hear about how it's going in New Zealand. You guys are lucky.
I mean,
when was the last time
pretty
you had
sure.
screwdrivers?
When's the last time you had screwdrivers?
I don't really enjoy drinking vodka.
Yeah, eventually it gets old. Oh yeah, we forgot to do DJ travel tips. Do you guys have any DJ travel tips, or like gig, like OCD stuff, or things that you need to do or think you should do, or any tips in general?
3 USBs at the very least, all loaded up with the same thing.
Always
double check that you have your headphones.
We bring a link cable with us too.
Bring a link cable, because like 5 times out of 10, the club will have linked USBs and not have a cable.
Or the cable will break, and I'd rather have one that I know works.
Bring like a pack of 1/4-inch adapters. Show up to your gig at least 45 minutes early. If you're playing a later set, you should show up earlier to show support, unless you can't, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you have time, Don't be the dude that just shows up right before the set,
right after.
plays a set, and then leaves right after. That's not cool. I mean,
part of it
you do your thing, but the best part is to network. That's more chance of. In terms of travel tips,
I don't know. I don't know. I think traveling for me is I like to travel light. Just only bring what I absolutely need.
I think Cody's been on tour far more than we have, so that's more of a question for you.
Man, don't listen to me. But yeah, so man, I don't even remember how to travel. I haven't left. This is the first time in a really long time that I haven't left this. I'm at my house. I haven't left here in a couple days. Like even went outside. Actually, I've been going outside every morning and running around barefooted in my boxers in the snow. That's my new way to wake up. I've been.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I have a backyard. I don't have steps and subway salt and all that kind of stuff. So I've been taking advantage of that. But yeah, it's just crazy that we're not traveling. I haven't traveled anywhere in almost a fucking year now. Anyway,
I remember we saw each other in like when we played on your stream. Like
yeah. May? Yeah, you guys were actually the first guest ever, and that was when, I had just maybe a month into it, and I had all these ideas. I'm gonna have all these people come play, and you guys were the first ones to come through.
I think we had just released the remix for you. I don't remember if the Black V-neck one or
no, it was a Let's Do This remix.
Yeah, it was a Let's Do This remix, and then I don't even know what. I think I still had my old. Yeah, I had my old computer. I didn't have my new computer yet. And we had all sorts of fucking problems. But we've come a long way, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We've grown up in streaming terms.
Let's see.
Drop your questions for us. Question.
Anyone's got any more questions?
Yes, I want to feel old. Gosh damn it. Give it to me. 9 months. Oh my God. Because you just subscribed for 9 months.
Gosh damn it. Big up, brother. Any funny gig fuck-ups where a gig pitched as one thing but turned out to be entirely different?
I mean, I don't think we've ever had anything that's crazy. I mean, we've had gigs where they said they're going to have 400 or 500 people there and 25 people show up, which is...
Yeah, that's a normal DJ story.
That's a normal thing. That's not that...
I'm trying to think of what, like... Oh, well, one time... we got booked for this place called Sanatorium.
Oh my gosh,
I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is like a really swanky, like upscale Lower East Side place. Like the bar, like the main bar was super nice.
Had a nice booth.
And then they're like, oh, you guys are going to be DJing downstairs in the side room in the meat locker. And we're like,
the meat locker.
Excuse me? And they're like, yeah, no, just go downstairs and just open the meat locker and go in. We're like, I can't tell if you're punking us or not. Anyway, we went downstairs, opened the meat locker. There was a whole nother room back there. It had bathtubs in it. So people were dancing in bathtubs.
And it had little poles in the bathtubs.
And people were like hanging from pipes on the ceiling. So yeah, that was an odd experience.
And the room was about twice the size of this room. And there were 150 people in it.
Yeah, the shit we did pre-COVID is wild.
That room would be like you definitely would leave there with COVID if you did that.
It was a lot of fun.
It was crazy.
I mean, it was crazy.
It was so much fun.
I've never in my life DJ'd in a meat locker while people danced in a bathtub. And that will forever be.
And the best part is when you walk through the door, it was actually like freezing cold, and on the other side of the door, it was normal.
It was a legit meat locker, and then the back of the meat locker had the room.
Had the room.
It was so weird, really weird.
It was crazy.
Someone asked something else. Oops. Someone asked you a question, Codes.
Man, I can't see shit. Hold on.
What do you look for in tracks for Holy Moly?
Man, it's just got to get my attention. It's just got to be dope. I don't really have, listen to previous Holy Moly releases and to kind of get a vibe, but I'm really just... I mean, to be honest, things have been slowing down a little bit, and we're trying to, figure out what the fuck is going on with this COVID stuff and these gigs. Like, I had 2 shows lined up for March, and one of them just got pushed to September. I think they might have announced that today, but I'm not sure. And this other one, so like, you know, I really wanted to pair a lot of the releases with playing shows and involving people on the label with shows. So I guess we're probably just gonna do that on streams and shit for now. But I'm not even, to be honest, looking for tunes that much right now. But please keep sending them.
Yeah, that's the rise of the Jellyfish Boys. They've been putting in work. They send stuff every week into our demo sessions, and their ideas are getting quite good. Yeah. Especially over the last couple of weeks.
I feel like Cody's answer is a really great answer in general for people that run labels. You know, just know their catalog and send something in that you think is special, stands out.
Yeah. But also, you know, it's hard for businesses right now, especially because I feel like for you, Codes, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure a lot of the money that you put towards, you know, pushing Holy Moly you got from your live gigs.
Yeah, I mean, I invested every cent I have into the label, and then a lot of that was supposed to come back in shows. Is like the main income was shows, but
I want to ask, when did you start streaming, Cody?
April, I think the beginning of April. Yeah.
Cody is one of the OGs. I got something.
We started streaming not long after that, but we took a little hiatus so we could get everything.
We did one stream in like June.
We did one in May, one in June.
Yeah. And then we really started like weekly in November.
Or late October. Late October was when we started.
Yeah, I guess this is a good time to plug. We do 2 weekly streams. We do one on Thursday and
one on Saturday.
We do a demo stream on Thursday. So we'll listen to all the music you send in, give you feedback. And then Saturdays we do a DJ stream. We bring in a bunch of guests.
Oh yeah! Shout out Denmark.
We learned from fucking watching Cody, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's also why we pick Thursdays and Saturdays, because you don't stream on those days.
Yeah, we don't.
The whole streaming thing, we were talking about this earlier, is where it kind of just it goes in these like waves, just like anything else. But it's like, I don't know if it's because things are opening back up or if people are getting bored or what, but it goes through it's almost been a good 8 or 9 months, I guess now. And I've just noticed that, long story short, is it's a lot going on. That's not even talking about the editing, the putting up on different socials and all that stuff like that. So, you know, you guys are doing it twice a week, right? Was it Thursdays and Saturdays? So
that's a lot of work too.
Yeah, so what's your I guess end game for or what's your goals for the Streamland streams?
Try to stay relevant until shows are back.
That's the short-term goal, is just, you know, have a place where people can come watch us, chat with us. We're also just trying to be more personable, you know. It's, you know, this is a time where artists have the ability to get really intimate and deep with fans and hang out and just be people. And,
yeah.
You know,
Discord has been a lifesaver. Twitch has been a lifesaver because it feels like it's hanging out. Like I said earlier, It's not exactly the same, but like we built a community that we will be forever grateful for. I mean, it's the same people that we hang out with, talk with on the daily. It's like, you know, built a whole network of friends through this shit. So
it's crazy. You don't even leave your house, and the amount of people that you connect with from all.
I mean, that's why I can't wait to go back to shows, because hopefully we can like hang out with all these people. Imagine just traveling and meeting all the friends that you made over the last year. I feel like
the people you can't hang out with in person right now, you can hang out with in, let's say, November. That'd be awesome.
Well, what's really cool to me too is there's these groups of like the couple more crew, but like there's groups of people that are fucking awesome, that really enjoy music, and you know, that's something we talk about on this show all the time too, is like the beauty of how music connects even during a pandemic. Like we figured out a way to do it, and like there's like homie just said he's in Denmark, like there's people all over the place, and that is really what inspired me to keep going and to make music, just doing that in real life with shows and stuff and traveling and all that. And now it's just crazy because we just do it from the comfort of, and safety of our own home. It's pretty crazy.
Especially the safety.
I mean, the other thing that's really great about it too is that you have this forever now, right? You know how to stream. So like, say like New Year's comes and you have a New Year's show and you want to hang out with people before your show, you just go live on Twitch like 2 hours before you have your show and you can have a chat with people.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of that. You know, we've been talking about this since last year about doing some sort of like living room tour where we did set up shop at people's living rooms in between club and festival shows and doing it straight from Twitch. And then also like, you know, there's going to be a lot of pre and post after you go to the club, come back to the hotel room and start streaming and play an after party or something like that. Or even involving it at the club. That's why like one of my ideas was like, how is this really bad? A really bad idea, a really good idea is to have like a screen, you know, in just like how we have this. So in my visuals, there would be a little chat box that you can talk and go on as like I'm DJing. So you don't even have to be at the club. You can be in Amsterdam and then you can be still watching what's going on at the club. But I'm like, man, that might be too much because then everyone's going to be on their phone and we already have a big problem with that. But some degree of that is going to be incorporated in the future and it just opens up more doors eventually.
I think you're right. I don't think that streaming is going to be completely abandoned once this is back. And we definitely don't want to completely abandon streaming, especially the demo days.
Yeah, we're thinking like doing some production stuff, some demo days, bringing in guests to talk about music. Like we just had our manager on our stream last Thursday to just talk about music industry business stuff for people that want to know a little bit about how do I get my track signed? When do I need a manager? When do I need a booking agent? You know,
we were like we were looking over profiles to like talk about branding,
talking about branding and stuff like that. So it's just, there's so much out there, not just DJing or producing. There's so much that's available. You know, people want to get in the music industry. How are they going to get in there? We can do a show about that, you know?
Hell yeah.
Twitch is amazing.
Thanks guys.
It's really, really fun. Honestly.
Appreciate you, DJ Damage. Thank you, Gash, for the
I feel like we missed a bunch of questions.
People were saying the demo days are helpful. I appreciate that. Yeah, but we do a green room in there for whenever we're doing a set. So you could always come and hang out.
Dishwoman, thank you so much.
I feel like Twitch has been super useful for artists that are just starting out. I mean, that's really the main reason why we started the demo days too, just to get like once a week, quick 5 minutes, someone telling you their opinion. You know, that's all it is. It's just our opinion.
Well, definitely a great new way, at the very, very least, a great new way to connect with people and make some friends and some fans and all that stuff.
We'd be homeless without the demo days.
You'd be homeless without the demo days? You guys okay?
Codes, you got to check out Fovos music. I don't know if you know their stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Send me some shit.
Bunch of shit coming out, like Good Politics and all those. They just did one on the Inroad, right? Did I make that up?
No, it was Vibrancy.
Vibrancy, yeah, that's what it was.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you I'm always looking for especially just new music to play on these streams. So do you guys have, or we already talked about what you guys got coming up. Can't give us too much info. But it sounds like you guys are kind of in the same boat as me where, you know, not really in a rush to be putting music out this year.
We're going to put stuff out. It's just going to take a little while. We were trying to work with labels to get some of the stuff out sooner, but you know,
in all honesty,
it's actually probably a good thing that they're coming out later.
The real thing is that we started pitching this batch of finished tunes a little late, like in December. And that was like 2 weeks before the industry shuts down for pretty much an entire month. And by the time it opens up and then shit gets signed, they already have labels. So, you know, I would have liked to get a couple releases earlier in the year, but at the same time, now that I think about it, if shows are going to be coming back, you know, summertime or after, it'd be good to line up a bunch of releases for when that's coming back.
Yeah, we also had like a little release clause. We couldn't release anything for a month after our last release. So, you know, things like that happen.
Damn, Maya Haro saying, I love City Lights. That's a classic. Keep going and please come visit Denmark when the world opens.
I would love to go visit Denmark.
Maya, did you know that Hannah Dishman in here Wait, Dishwoman is the one that did vocals?
Yeah, Dishwoman did all the vocals here
That's Ryan's fiance.
for City Lights.
Shit. Little Sassy,
They just
thank you
got
for the
engaged to
sub.
write City Lights, and then they broke it off. Just kidding. Little Sassy Lee gifted a sub to Fovos.
She's the best.
She is the best.
You guys have anything else that you want to plug? You guys got any more questions out there?
Yeah, ask us some questions.
Ask
We'd
us
love
some
that.
questions.
We'd love to.
I'll plug
answer
what we
those.
got coming up in terms of our guests.
Yeah, let them know.
We're doing this Space Yacht and Desert Hearts takeover
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
And then that same night before that, we have the Riffa and Trust Boys on. Then we're bringing the next week binge play, which is binge watch and foul play together. So got some cool stuff coming up.
We have a stream obviously with Dirty Bird with Cody on Wednesday. So pretty excited about that. And we have a track coming out on Techni in May. So that's what we can announce at least right now.
Dope. Yeah, I play the shit out of everything that comes out on that label, basically.
Yeah. That new Vanessa track is amazing.
That Vanessa track is crazy.
Yeah,
that's the most recent thing that came out, right?
I think so. I love the Zenlo tune. That's my favorite Zenlo tune.
We're actually doing a track with the vocalist that did the vocals for him. So
I am the baby.
So one more before we go. Do you guys have what are your feelings on cryptocurrency? Are you guys into it? You guys holding on anything? What's
I have a bunch that I bought a couple years ago. Not like nothing super crazy, but it's going up and down. I'm just waiting for another probably like another big boost.
What are you holding?
Mostly altcoins, not too much Bitcoin.
I've got about $200 worth of Litecoin, which at one point was worth like $1,000. But
yeah,
that's what happened to that. But honestly, I'm a little boomerish, and the fact that I was very late to the cryptocurrency trend.
You mean in 2017?
Yeah, I mean I was later than everything there. I only started getting crypto like a year ago.
Oh yeah, because that's what I had Litecoin back in 2017, and that shit all that shit crashed, and I kind of stopped fucking with it. But past year or so, I've been just like, between the GameStop shit that's going on, even the goofy shit with Doge and XRP and stuff. But it's like, it's a crazy exciting time for, just the technology of all that stuff. So I like to kind of dig into everyone's brain a little bit.
All I have to say is I'm glad these people that bought GameStop and AMC and all these things. This is great. It's my favorite thing that's happened. 2021 has already started off great. It's my favorite thing.
Yes, it's a revolution.
It's all these corporations are finally seeing that the people actually matter that they have, and to not do stupid things like short stocks in mass and then just complain that they're people are buying them because you wanted to buy them cheaper and raise your hedge fund money. No, you can't complain if you're going to play the game that way. Sorry.
Well, I think that exposing and just kind of, it's already been exposed a million times, but now it's like back in everyone's face again, and then also kind of a fuck you to them because they lost like $20 billion something dollars or more.
They do it, it's okay, and then when the internet does it, they're like, wait, how dare you use my own powers against me?
Did you see the video of the guy who was on CNBC who was like basically crying because like he was crying that he was saying that all the people that bought all this stock had no idea what they're doing with. They're going to be in such huge trouble, and he was like basically like crying.
He actually really was crying a year ago on the same show when he was worried about politics of getting taxed and how it's going to change. Like, anyway, but fuck that dude and all those people.
That's a summation of that whole conversation.
Yeah. But to me, why I really think it's dope is because it's opening up people's eyes to move toward crypto and decentralized finance and everything, so it's a cool little movement going on, and it's like a revolution for the little guy, which we're all I don't think there's any whales or hedge funds sharks in here, but
If not, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I think the other thing about crypto is like kind of like relates a lot with like what we've had to do the past couple of months, right? You find a cryptocurrency, you invest in it, it rises up, you sell it, you put it on another one. You have to constantly be aware that things change so quickly with that. It's just like the life of being a musician. You were touring, going crazy, and all of a sudden it was just a hard stop.
you can really
So, like,
compare it to so much. I think
amazing.
that I'm always comparing. I'm like, this is just like cryptocurrency. You just like, it does really good, and then it falls a little bit, and then it does really good, and then it falls a little bit. So like always on a positive climb, but there's dips and
Have you ever,
valleys.
like, I kind of like, you ever realize that we live in the craziest time in all of human history? Like, we're gonna be the last generation that ever exists, that ever exist without technology, right? Like when we were kids, we just read books and there wasn't internet. Like, barring some sort of civilization collapse, we're going to be the last generation to ever exist without technology.
Yeah, like the schools in New York today, because there was obviously we had a ton of snow here. Normally they close and they say, hey, we're going to close for the day because it's a snow day. They're like, no, we're not closing anymore, we're just doing digital online learning. It's like no one's gonna even know what a snow day is in a few years. It's kind of insane.
It's so weird.
Or legal weed. It's gonna get. I don't know why New York's still dragging their feet on that shit. That's like
They're voting on it the next couple months. So
they've been saying that for how fucking long?
Yeah,
That's
bro,
why I'm like,
it's such bullshit.
imagine how much more income they would have to help with all of this shit if they did. Like, there would be so much more money and people would be so much more chill because they'd be stoned all the time. Yeah. Not that they're not anyway, but anyway.
Cuomo bought it to the state senate, so they're gonna vote on it in the next few months. So it's
somehow we're last in that race. I don't understand that.
I mean, you could be Alabama. That would be actual last.
True.
How do we end up in the Matrix?
Wow.
The chat said trigger warning for Amish people watching this stream.
Chris, man,
that's so funny.
When this is all done and over, we gotta go hang with Chris again. I miss that dude.
Man, me too. Chris, we miss you.
We miss you, buddy.
Maybe we could do the Holy Moly stream out from his studio.
Well, that's what I realized, that we haven't done a proper Holy Moly stream. Been doing this whole thing for so long, or I guess 9 months now, and I haven't done one where just all the Holy Moly artists do a stream. So I think that's going to be in the work soon. And man, keep cranking out the tunes. You guys got anything to that you want to say, or before we peace up out of here?
Eat your Wheaties.
Avocados.
Eat weed?
Yes. Eat your Wheaties. Yeah, eat your Wheaties.
Bake your weed.
Bake
Eat
your
Wheaties.
Yes.
There you go.
Eat healthy. Stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah. We're going to end with, you want to give us some intro on this tune that
Oh, yeah. This is our upcoming tune. It's the next one we got released. It's called Preach. I like it. I think it's cool.
It comes out on Techni in May. So
yeah, if you like it, drop some horse heads in the chat.
You can. We have some emotes.
Or some couple more crew, because we're a couple more crew by default.
Couple more crew. It's your favorite number, 420 or 69?
I like 420.69. I feel like that's nice, a really good one. I offered a bot the other day $420.69 to get Elon Musk to repost my track, but they didn't do it.
I don't know if anyone watches our Instagram, we have this thing where anytime we get you probably get these too. Like, some person's like, hey, you need Instagram promotion? I can do all these things for you. Ian just replies to them and says nonsensical stuff. And eventually they start replying back, and it's hilarious.
Man, I used to send them to Dylan Nathaniel. I'd be like, oh, no, I don't. But my friend Dylan would probably love that.
That's great.
Oh, dude,
I'm so doing that to Tyler.
And I haven't, he's never said anything to me, but I always would be like, yeah, you should go talk to Dylan.
That's fucking
You
hilarious.
should screenshot those and put those on your story. That'd be really funny.
I see all these horse heads. I see all these couple more crews. Man, I love this community. Codes, you built a nice little community. Only fams. Love you guys.
These people are fucking awesome. That's so the next step is my homie is building a website, and I'm gonna have a place to put streams without getting fucked up. So after everything's done, without getting muted or without getting copyright strikes or anything like that. So I'm in the process of having a website built right now where we're going to be able to put all these are great because I can put them up on YouTube, no problem. But the streams, so many things get muted and all that. So pretty soon I'm going to have a spot where, not just releases and stuff. It's going to be like a world star at hip hop kind of site where you just have videos of all the old streams of probably illegal shit you're not supposed to have and like all that stuff. But
that's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Back to the Napster days.
So 2.0.
So I'm going to end with this one. This is a new one coming out. Tooth and Lies Preach. This one comes out in a few months. Sneak peek, very first. Little Sassy, thank you so much. And thank you guys for coming through. We're going to have y'all on Wednesday, a couple more on the Dirty Bird channel, www.twitch.tv/dirtybird, 11 o'clock p.m. EST. Shout out everyone who's been tuning in. Everyone's been subscribing, following. Crew. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, and we gotta knock out another Stand Clear Part 2 one of these days. So
let's do it.
I'm gonna holler at you guys.
We should use the flight instruction video. Love you, buddy. Talk soon.
Peace, bro.
Yeah.
Peace. Peace, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Look out for each other. Peace.